What's going on, guys? Welcome back to W.D.Y.D. CSP. What do you do as a central store processor? Guys, today I want to show you a how-to video, so stay tuned. Check it out. Alright, guys, welcome back. For this video, I will not need my little baby t-shirt that I use as my as my little workstation, but today, guys, rigid containers, guys, they come in every shape, form, and size. Different manufacturers make them, from your bougie ones to your bucket list ones, whatever. Rigid containers, it is a sterile barrier of choice in sterile processing. Depending on who the manufacturers are, you can use in multiple modalities of sterilization, whether it's high temperature or low temperature sterilization. Just about any item can be placed in a rigid container. You just have to look at the IFUs and do a product analysis. You know, you want to make sure that, you know, a product quality analysis, you know, place the item in there with some biologicals and some chemical indicators and see if it's good penetration. But enough of that. You'll find more information about that in Amy ST79, and there's many articles on that. Check out the IFUs. But I wanted to talk about the rigid container. So the rigid container, I think, is the abused instrument device in our practice. I have seen these devices beat up, dropped, uninspected, uncared for, no love given to them, the whole nine. I mean, when this item comes into decon, how should you handle it? Well, you want to look at the IFUs, but I think it should be cleaned like any other instrument. You should rinse it because there might be some bioburden or pre-treatment that leaked in there from the basket that was inside of it. So you definitely want to rinse it. You definitely want to grab I'm not going to say that you need to soak it for 5 minutes or so, but you definitely want to go ahead and you want to grab a sponge or a big brush, dip it in some enzymatic, put it in some enzymatic, give it a good brush and wipe down, because what will happen is, if you just take, I've seen so many technicians in every practice, take the basket out, grab the container, and just put it on the rack so it can go through the cart washer without doing any manual cleaning. And I'm going to tell you that that practice is so bogus and is a no-no. You should not manually skip cleaning your instrument container prior to placing through the cart washer. So why do I say that? If you ever picked up a rigid container and there's these little tiny little black specks on the bottom of those containers, and you're doing soil testing, grab a little chip of that and do a protein test on it, or do an ATP on it. I guarantee you're going to get a reading back on it. You want to know why? Because that's baked up blood on there. That's baked up bioburden that the cart washer or that the case cart washer, whatever you want to call it, did not properly impinge upon and loosen up that soil and got rid of it. It actually baked it on during the drying process. So guys, take your rigid containers and decon, remove your basket, give it a good rinse. Grab a sponge, a rag, a brush, give it a quick brush down with some enzymatic or some detergent. You know, follow that IFU, because I know it's in the IFU to say that states to do that. Give it a nice wipe down. Wipe down the interior, the exterior. Please, if you're using those little cards, I don't know why anybody even uses the cards anymore if you have a tracking system. Get the cards out of there. Check the little box lock area for broken pieces of locks that's in there. Don't send that through your cart washer, because you'll find it in your actual strainer in there, and it'll clog it up. It'll wind up making its way through the system and clogging up your sprayer arms. If you have removable knobs, pull them off. I guarantee you'll find a little piece of box lock in there. There's two sides, guys, so please make sure you're looking at two sides. Your handles, make sure your handles are intact and they're working, that there's no adhesive like there is on this one right here. adhesive on the actual handle. All right, wipe your basket down, put it on the car lock. The little adhesive that just fell off. Yeah, I know y'all seen that, right? I know y'all seen it on video. It's right there. Put it on the car washer rack. Let it go through, of course, on an angle so it doesn't collect water. Well, how many people put their containers like this, and when it comes on the other side, there's a puddle of water in there? Guys, so that water runs on the back of it and runs out of the instrument on an angle, not sitting straight up, not on an angle back. All right? Then we're talking about the actual lid. All right? So many, I've seen videos out there, and you guys need to take them videos off, that place this back on and put it right through the cart washer like that, or through the washer disinfector like that. Amy tells you, our standards tell you that this all has to be separated. You're washing all this separate from this. Make sure that you're cleaning these real good as well. Give this a wipe down, a spray down, a wipe down. Check under that little gasket right there for any soil. Check the gasket for any soils. Make sure that these latches are working. You know, check this thing, man. This thing is a good investment. This thing is supposed to last you over in the prep and pack side. And talking about prep and pack, what are we looking for in prep and pack when we grab a rigid container? Well, you should be able to run your hand along the edges there and don't worry about getting cut. Now, I'm not saying do it real rough, but nice little looking for snags. Nice uniform. You don't want to see no bends in there. And if you are, don't try to bend it out in place. I used to do that early in my career. Try to grab it in the end and try to bend it out. But if it's bent, guys, it's no good, because it's possible that it's not going to get a good connection on the gasket, which I'll talk about it in a second, and not have a good seal. All right. You want to make sure that the interior is nice and clean. All right. That there's no flaking in there. That you don't see any oil or debris or bioburden or anything like that. That your handles are working. That the actual latching mechanism hook is actually in place and not wiggling. All right? That the bottom of the basket of the container is solid. That there's no holes or nicks or dents or anything like that. The scratches are okay, but you want to make sure that the old card was taken off. So we're going to take that right there. And then we're going to come over here. And with your lid, you want to make sure that your latches are working. This has a spring mechanism. You want to make sure that that spring mechanism's working. You want to check that little pin right there. Make sure that pin ain't wiggling. Check that gasket really good. No breaks, no bioburden, no debris. Okay, again, no sharp edges, no bends, no cracks, nothing like that. That the holes are actually holy and that there's nothing blocking them. No adhesive or any tape that went on there. A lot sticker tape might have jammed up on there. You want to get that off. And then this beautiful lid retention. All right, plate. You want to make sure that it doesn't jiggle, that the buttons on the side, the release buttons work. Check that gasket for constant consistency, no debris. The gasket in the middle is intact. It's not separating at the base. And check that little hole. If you can look in there, make sure that there's no debris or nothing in there. When you put your filter on there, this is an old filter, guys. When you put that filter on there, you want to make sure that filter's covered and listen for a nice little click. Yes, and no DJ spin. All right, what do I mean by the DJ spin, guys? Oh my God, what is the DJ spin? I know you guys know what the DJ spin is. I know you know. I know you guys know what the DJ spin is. I'm gonna make this one spin for you guys. I'm about to hit a record on here. That's a DJ spin. Okay, if you get a retention plate that's like this, it is no good. And please, guys, do not try to bend it back in place. All right, you might not have gotten all the seals, okay? All right, now it's no DJ spin. Let the professionals handle the repairs. You are professional in assembling, inspecting, and functionally testing your medical devices. So stay in your lane, guys. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Stay true to yourselves, keep it 100, and peace until next time.